What's up, folks? Mike here at When and Watches. Welcome to the video, and today is just a quick review video on another Praesidus wristwatch. Now, before on my channel, I have done a quick review on another watch that they sent in, which was this one, which was the A11. This is a automatic mechanical wristwatch, 42 millimeters, based on the A11 watch used by the American military during the Second World War. Great little watch, solid little piece to have in your collection, and there is another video on my channel where I've gone over this watch, so by all means check that out. So I quite like this watch, I've enjoyed it, and it sits in my collection and gets worn every now and again. But however, Praesidus have been in touch and they've said that we've got another version of the watch coming out. This is the the Spec 2, and it has an American quartz, fully American quartz made movement, and they've sent in this version, which is the Spec 2. Now this comes in either 32 or 40 millimeters. This is actually a 40 millimeter watch, so comparison side by side. This is 42, this is 40. It's very subtle, but there is actually a difference. The difference is more noticeable in the flesh rather than via the lens. But I wore this for about a week and it was super comfortable in terms of its size, so it's not an issue being 40 millimeters. The difference between the two is kind of negligible. Never had any issues in terms of the comfort. Now the box itself is very straightforward. American movement, assembled in the US with imported parts. So all the hardware is imported in, and then they fit their own American quartz movements. The box, again, nothing to write home about. It's like a ration style box. So you've got your dog tags in there for your warranty. You've got your instruction card, and that's pretty much it. It's no frills, basic box, and that's what it comes in. Try to stop the camera shake. So everything is almost identical to the original version here that we have mechanically, except for obviously the size, but the casing is exactly the same. So we have a stainless steel case which is sandblasted, and then the lug tops are polished. Excuse the fingerprints. A polished crown, and the same case back as before, obviously with different etching. So this is exactly the same. Sandblasted sides, polished lugs, large crown, and the same case back. So it's exactly the same as the last watch before. And then the strap actually is super comfortable. It's slightly thinner, I think. Quick release spring bars, which I love. And then hardware, you have this more traditional old-fashioned style buckle, which is actually quite nice. The strap's really super comfortable, good vintage look and feel to it. Yeah, quite nice, quite comfortable. So this one has a quartz movement rather than a mechanical movement. Everything else is pretty much the same. You've got the same mineral glass with sapphire coating. That has a mineral glass with sapphire coating. Has the same crown, same style, same case, same shape, same style, different size. Everything else is pretty much the same, except for this particular version that they sent has a black and white dial, which is pretty dull, to be honest. There's no texture, there's no depth, there's nothing really of interest with this particular dial. Thankfully they do other versions with a bit more color, a bit more interest to them. Whether this is supposed to be a like for like copy as close to an original version of this watch, I don't know. I'm not big into military watches, but I would say that this particular model that they sent in for review, the dial is very dull, it's very boring, but as I said, there are other versions that they're going to do, other colorways that they're going to do, and I would seriously take a look at those. But this version, it doesn't do it for me. It's a little bit too held back. There's just nothing there. I mean, this version here, which was mechanical, again, it's not super textured in comparison, but there is a bit more character there, a bit more interest, a bit more color. The hand shape is a bit more interesting. The color of the patina versus the loom of the inner numbers, etc. There's just a little bit more interest there, whereas this one looks like a child's watch to a certain degree. It's very plain, very boring, but hopefully the other versions they do are a little bit more exciting. In terms of value, I think this is $215 US. I'm not sure what that is here in the UK, but in the US, I'm pretty sure it's about $215 in the US. So that's probably what, 190 pounds, 180, 190 pounds here in the UK. Now this watch I would have recommended, I did recommend at the time, and I would certainly recommend now. It's a great value watch. It has a nice quality to it. It has mechanical movement. It's not super exciting. It's not super detailed, but it's supposed to represent something from history. And this kind of does the same thing, but with a quartz movement. There's not a great deal of difference between them other than the fact that this one is slightly smaller and this one has a mechanical movement. This one has the quartz movement. Would I recommend it? Everything else is great. The hardware is great. The strap is great. The quartz movement kept perfect time. There's not an issue with that. The quartz movement is actually serviceable as well, which is another thumbs up, another big plus compared to most companies using quartz movements. Most of them are disposable. It's good to see that these are actually serviceable. But if you already own a Praesidus watch like this, would I recommend getting this? Not really. They're exactly the same, bar a couple of differences. But if you don't own a Praesidus watch, you've never owned one, then I would certainly give them some consideration. They do some awesome work. If you've never heard of Praesidus before, they do a lot of work with veterans, and the sale of every watch, I think it's 5% of every sale of every watch goes to helping veterans of the Second World War. But there's more information about that on their website, so go and check it out on their website. So would I recommend it? Yes, not with this dial, but yes, I would recommend you take a look at their watches. Now, when I received this watch originally for review, I think there was only like 4 watches that they had in their collection. I believe now they've got 10 to 12 different watches in their collection. So they're worth checking out for sure. Just avoid this dial. It is dull. But hopefully their other dials that they do are a bit more exciting than this. But this is the review sample that I got, so it's not bad. It's just once you've had this, there's not much difference between that and that. However, check them out. All the links are in the description down below, so go and check them out. They do some good stuff for veterans, which is a worthy note in itself. But that's pretty much it for this review. There's not a lot else I can add to say that compares any different from this watch. If you haven't seen this review for this watch, go and check that out. Well, and check out any other reviews or any of the other videos I do on my channel, or don't. I don't mind. I know I'm not going to pressure you. But yeah, that's it for this video, and hopefully I'll see you in another video soon. Don't forget to click subscribe, like the little bell icon so that you get notified when a new video comes out. But until then, take care and have fun.